So we immediately give that back up inside the range again. We'll see if that high ends up getting blown through or not. We actually wouldn't mind trying to put in like another swing point here before we deliver into the buy side, because it'll actually give us like structure to then try to break and give us a frame of entry on the way back down. So if we can hold the swing point and then deliver into the buy side, we can look for that swing point to then be traded through for our short signal pretty much. Okay, so at that point, yeah, let's see if we can hold that low. We'd like to see that be a protected low at this point until buy side is reached. Run into the buy side, and then if we're going to get short, we'll look to break through that low and use that for entry. And you're retesting the original swing point. We'll see if we can get above that. As we say, when we often create one singular swing point like this, pretty easy to run through those, so we'll look for that to happen there. Cool. Okay. So that's what we want to see there. At this point, we should try to hold this. Right, we respected the lower volume imbalance first, so this one. We hold that, we reclaim the original bullish here, so now we should respect that as we deliver into our buy side. NQ is able to close above the original swing point. We want to see bodies continue to respect that, stay above it for now. Treat that swing point pretty much like the volume imbalance here in ES. That level shouldn't be closed below. We'll look for buy side, and then, as we say, we'll look for that retracement now. Don't mind new week opening gap. I'd like to see if we can't get back into that. I mean, that isn't a crazy aggressive 4-hour candlestick. I just don't see it closing on its high. I would expect more of a wick, which is what we'd like to be involved in. We'll see if we can hold the wick. Getting a little choppy here. At this point, just got to be patient. Right, we want to wait for that buy side. We did get back below that volume imbalance again, so unfortunately not able to hold that as strong as we'd like to. If we can hold this low one more time, create 3 drives into the buy side, we'd like to see that. So from that low, if we can somehow hold that low and create one more, that would be pretty perfect setup to trust the shorts. If we end up picking up that low, right, we'll still wait for that buy side to be engaged. Okay, here we go. I like that delivery. So we held that low as well. That's what we wanted to see. One more drive. Maybe we just short this off a rib. We could add one there. Let me really quick see where's the nearest point. What's the next swing point? Higher time frame. Let's go 1 hour. So we have a swing here. We have a swing here. Just went with the idea that we go for more of a turtle soup here with how we're delivering into this. That stop there is a little aggressive. That's a little too much though. So we have another hourly swing point here, a 4 hour. That's a 4 hour high and another 1 hour high. Expectation would be we run the higher time frame, but we don't clear more than one swing point. So we could probably just go with the clear 5 handle. We do like seeing confirmation. That's the only hesitation here. Is right with how long we've been in this range. If we want to actually leave, it will be a pretty aggressive break of that buy side. Closure above again. Okay. We'll give it more of a confirmation. So we'll wait for that buy side. So we have a small fair value gap here in ES. Same thing in NQ. First one we created actually, bullish fair value gap there. This one's created as we displace through the old swing point. So we'll see if that can hold. We want to see that hold in ES. Equal highs again. You know what? I do like that. We're going to go in, as we said, we're going to just try to soup that first. So because we're doing soups, those are a lot higher risk. So for me, I always enter just with one. Because if we're going to be on sides, it'll give us an opportunity to add another as confirmation anyways, right? Like we normally would. So we're going to look to just enter right away total soup. If we can get another opportunity as we break structure, our second entry will come on that. And at this point, as we said, I like the idea. My most recent 5-minute fair value, yep, you just go there. Okay, so we'll leave like this. Right, we created another higher low. So really ever since that low, higher low, higher low, higher low. We like that delivery, the stair stepper delivery, we call it, as we deliver into major buy side objectives. Because now it should be pretty easy to clear that if we're on side. If we're off sides, of course, right, we'll get displaced. More than likely, it'll move away from this consolidation quickly, so it doesn't have a chance to target those lows. Pretty much be the same idea in NQ, yeah. Target the high, okay. Consolidating just below that. We like that. Let's see what we get. At this point, we'll pretty much look for the same NQ, right? So if we run that buy side, we want it to be more just a run on highs, not a true break in structure. Getting a little choppy here. Hope we're not fizzling out. Sometimes during power hour, we just get sideways. So we're looking for more of just a consolidation to get that manipulation and then a break. We'd like to see NQ hold this fair value gap for now. NQ did run that high where ES kept equal highs there. The fact that we have equal highs though makes me want to run that even more. So we're still expecting those highs to get cleared. So we got entry there. We're liking the initial rejection. We'll see if we can hold that. We actually got a little better entry than we even wanted with how quick it moved there. I mean, honestly, we really like that. If we can break from here and leave that as a swing point, that'd be great for us. If we get above that right now, that's almost worst case scenario though. So it's almost a double-edged sword here. To where if we really do close above that wick, that to me is going to be a lot more bullish, and we'll look for a bullish continuation off that. The nature of how we did manipulate there, we should create a down close candle, leave that as the swing point, and then start targeting some of these short-term lows here. We like the sell side here at least. I'd like to try to add one. If we can get below this volume imbalance, we'll look to try to add one more there. As we said, we want to hold this buy side now. So we're going to retest there. We'll see if we can hold or not. We do hold that high. Don't like that we're going to retest that high though. That's right though. As we say, if we end up blasting through that, we'll be a little bit more bullish so we can actually flip the bias, look for something long. Ideally though, now that we've retested the buy side, we look for a little bit rejection here. Be aggressive. See if NQ can now invert. If we can invert fair value gap here, that'll put us in great position. Pretty much want to invert volume imbalance here as well. So looking for discounts to now be broken. And then, yeah, as we said, we'll look to add one. We get below volume imbalance, that becomes our new area to add one. And we'll like that. So ideally we stay heavy here. If we get closure below, we want to just see break. And Q, like on Q, we do want to see lows maybe. Yeah, let's get heavy. I want to see the volume imbalance stay open, just dump. We don't want to see elevator down, right? We took the stairs up. Let's get elevator down here. We'll just target that sell side. Cool. So we want to stay heavy here. We held that buy side beautifully. We might even try to add one at that volume imbalance. Pretty aggressive wick there, actually. We wanted to see NQ stay bearish. We want to see both of these close below these swing points. So NQ was able to, we like that. See if we just stay heavy. I already kind of like the delivery, so we'll just like to add one in that volume imbalance. We'll keep the same stop. I'm fine with that risk. We had pretty minuscule risk on the original entry there. There's that volume imbalance. We're looking to break below that. We want to hold the inversion in NQ. We don't want to start getting kind of sideways. We want to see speed here. We do have a volume imbalance here, so we could retest that. Ideally though, like if we want to be heavy, NQ should hold the wick. Same idea in ES. ES should hold the most recent wick. There's a quick tap of the volume imbalance. Let's see what we get. We have that bearish fair value gap, so we'd want to hold there. If we're going to get that entry, we'd want to see something to where it's like a wick entry. Cool. So we get entered there. We'll keep the same stop. This will be kind of, as we said, the danger zone here. To where if we don't want to actually get bearish, that volume imbalance will continue to hold price. But we like where we are here. We've actually been able to add, so now at this point, we can take a partial. If we can get through that volume imbalance, get into this low, we'll actually aim for this small fair value gap here. We'll look to sell one off there, or buy one back, excuse me. Cool. So we got the setup here. NQ's trying to actually reclaim that. So let's say that we reclaim that. As we say, that's a little more bullish to us. So we'll look for either just seeking to short like one test of that high, or ideally we don't even get up there. We just hold the buy side again. Sitting right at break even. What time is it? 3:26. $69.06 volume imbalance. I can see that. We have that daily up there. Used it a few times, just short of it as well. So if we want to touch that, that's fine. We did get it here. Right, if I was to pop that up real quick. That's that volume imbalance. So we did just barely nick it. We could see one more retest of that if we wanted to. Just barely tapped it though. So as we said, we can get one more. Wouldn't be surprised. Unfortunately, as we said, we did get a little more sideways than you'd want to see. So we might just kind of fizzle out that last half hour of the day. Had a pretty decent move here following that manipulation. We'll see if we can get that release though. We're still looking for it, still trusting it. If we can get a partial, we'll go break even immediately from there. I hope they drop. That'd be nice that last half hour. We'll look for the drop now that we've engaged that buy side. Try to bait people to get long here, fall right through all of it. See if we can leave that volume imbalance open and just dump. We'd like something like that. All right, let's see if we can do that. I like that. I like that. All right, we went short there. We should hold. Oh yeah, we're getting so sideways. Jeez. Little ugly. We want to see that fair value gap hold though. We'll look for that. We'll trust that. Fair value gap, volume imbalance combo. Adjust stop a little bit. We'll tighten her up. Get that level out of here. They're getting a little ugly. $3.30 now, so we'll see if that last half hour can give us some type of movement. Pretty much been range bound last half hour, entire power hour so far, I'd say. There's that buy side again. Let's see what we get. Now we're getting a little ridiculous. Friday, yeah, we could do that actually. I like that. There's closure above the buy side, so we may actually get bullish here now. We said if at least get movement the last half hour. But not like the idea of that little YouTube on Friday. We haven't done YouTube in a while. Run it back. We'll see if we leave a fair value gap. If we leave a fair value gap perfectly aligned with that buy side, that's going to be a pretty bullish signature. All right, we do. So at this point, we're going to need to invert that. And if we can invert that, we'll actually add one more. That'll be our last entry. If we're going to be offsides, that'll hold bullish and we're going to get stopped. So that's kind of why I like that being created there. Should give us a good indicator if we are onside or offside now. We said if we're offsides, we're going to trade down into that. We're going to hold the buy side fair value gap combo. We'll continue to push bullish. We invert that. We add one more as we retrace into it. And we look for that final release. And Q did not clear the high, so a little bit of SMT as well. Same idea. We'll see if we can actually hold that or invert that, excuse me. All right, first touch of that. We'll see if we accelerate here, if we can fall through it. Immediately, I don't like that we're kind of already being pretty sensitive to that buy side originally. We want to see price like fall through. We did leave a bearish volume imbalance, so if we can keep that open while closing inside the fair value gap, that'd be good for us. Looks like we're trying to hold that though pretty well. Let's fall through a little bit. I like that. Okay, if we can actually leave both of those open, that'd be even better. A little suspension block. Okay, I'm liking it. I'm liking it there. Looking for closure below here. Closure below while leaving volume imbalance open. Best case, we want at least closure below midpoint. I'm going to be pretty aggressive here, actually. We'll look to add one. Yeah, I like that. Okay. We're going to add one at this volume imbalance here. If we can get back there. We're going to cut down our stop a little bit. All right, last entry there. This will be it for us as well. About to be 3:40, so we either get stopped here, call it afternoon, or we can run. Looks like we're about to get the quick stop out. Let's see. Yeah, we don't like that. Closure right back above the buy side. So we negated the volume imbalance and we closed back above the buy side. One good thing is we did hold the old buy side here. That's like our last line of defense. So this would have to completely reverse up, close in the bullish volume imbalance. And ideally try to close back below this buy side level here. NQ, pretty much same. NQ is even worse. That's actually crazy bad. We did add one. We'll go for like an ends model partial. See if we can get that low. And then we'll leave still one more there. So we'll break it up a little bit more. Oh. Cool. If we can get closure below this fair value gap, stop will get put to the most recent swing point. All right, so as we said, if we leave that volume imbalance open, that'll be closure below fair value gap. We'll be inverting that for the first time. Stop loss will get jammed right above that swing point here. If we can get into first partial, at that point we'll go break even. Because we are tired of the sideways action. We left it open. That's good enough for me. Boom. We're there. Cut that risk out. We left a bearish fair value gap there as well. So we have the volume imbalance, fair value gap combo. Well, that was an aggressive wick there. Wow. 550. We're gonna get even more aggressive here. Stop there. One more getting added. We're really gonna expect a quick drop. It might be sideways until 350. Yeah, so unfortunately we ran into the old consolidation power hour. We'll see if 350 can't give us some type of volatility to at least get us out. We'll look to actually just close fully there. So we'll just go one partial, full closure. Might get stopped right here, we'll see. I actually did want to add one more there. We're adding one right at the buy side tap. Can we hold midpoint of the fair value gap? That is the question. Answer yes. If I'm being honest, I don't like that we're getting down to 350 because 350 tends to try to target liquidity before it breaks. So even if we are on sides, I'm almost thinking that it's going to want to run this high first before we break. So I wouldn't mind actually just trying to break from here. Create some space from this high. So the most logical answer at 350 would be to target the sell side. Getting us out at that point instead of stopping us out. Okay, I like that. 2 minutes, let's just run. We spent plenty of time at the buy side, no need to be spending any more. I think if we get to 350, we might just have to go break even and eat whatever. Let's see. Depends on where we're at. See how this candle closes. If we leave those equal lows, I like the idea of getting those lows. Looks like we might actually leave another fair value gap as well. Fair value gap volume imbalance combo. Same one we had here that held us. So we can put in a new premium. That'll be good. There's that low. Let's just get this low here. If we can get partialed out and broke even before 350, that would be nice. Let's try that. We're gonna have to be like pretty quick, because I feel like at 350 that candlestick is gonna move pretty aggressively. So we'll have to be ready to move our stop loss if it gets our partial right away. About 20 seconds left. Let's see what we get. Relative equal lows there in NQ. We want to see those lows be cleared, which means we clear these lows in ES. And I actually don't mind leaving one in case we get a little bit more aggressive. I don't like that we had to go up first. All right, we'll see. If anything, we have to hold that fair value gap. Hold that there in NQ. Hold it in ES. Little mixed here. It's not going to want to give it to us. Run through that low there. We could not close below the low. We don't like that. Need to see some heaviness here. We don't want to run that low. We want to blast through that low, not wicket. Want to stay heavy through that low. That's better. There we go. Okay, now we can go here. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then we can actually go back here. We'll adjust that. We'll just leave it in case it wants to stay heavy. But now that we've secured most of it, we can let it run. There goes NQ finally as well. Nice. Just what we want to see. The absolutely delayed release. Immediate rebalance there. We'll see if we can just move away from that now. NQ did leave a fair value gap. Wouldn't mind just leaving that though. See if we can't get into... Let's pull up our... Yeah, so NQ, if we can get NQ first presented, ES should continue to sell off. That'll be our expectation. All right, come on now. If we get to like 358, closer to 4, we'll just kind of close manually. Don't want to be in it too long here. Can we get second? If we can get next partial, we'll go pretty aggressive. Actually, we'll just leave stop where it is, to be honest. Little animated here. And we'll forget that partial. We'll just go full close. Getting a little late. We don't want to mess with it too much more. See if we can get that final exit there. We can even just go right at the low. Right at sell side there. And can we get it? Right at it. Wants to give it to us. Will give it to us. And maybe. We're here as well. Yeah, it's been pretty slow. There it is. Oh, no way. Look at that close. Unreal. There it is. All right, fellas. Jeez. A little more work than we would like, but we got it. So we finally did, right? That's the fair value up there. That was a grind, if we're being honest, but it worked out. So we trusted the shorts, right? We said if we're going to deliver into the buy side, objective is return into the range. It was obviously a lot slower than we'd like to see, but that is all right. All right, first entry came on a turtle soup of the highs. Second entry as we retrace back up into that order block. We had one more entry as we were trading inside of a volume imbalance, and then the final entry comes as we trade below that last bullish fair value gap, creating the inversion. We trade up into it. We add one more. And we're finally able to close everything at that inefficiency there. So we said that was a little bit of a grind, but patience pays off. We're able to get both of our partials and our final TP met. So yeah, hopefully you guys found that helpful. We'll go ahead and call it a day there. We'll be back tomorrow at what time? I don't think we had news. Yeah, so no, or tomorrow we got early news, so it'll be a normal stream. We'll get back tomorrow like 9:20, and we'll see what we can get tomorrow. So until then, have a great afternoon, everybody. Stay safe, and we will talk in the morning. See you guys then.